guys! Today I'm going to talk you through my making of a triple spot illustration. A triple spot focuses on the sequential storytelling, moving characters through time and space with 3 spot illustrations. So yes, here we go, let's get started. Okay, so the first step is the idea stage, and that is what I'm showing you here with these thumbnails. I'm pretty bad at thumbnailing. I can't resist the urge to jump into color, which is why you see these thumbnails in color. I still consider them very rough and sketchy and loose, and they're thumbnails for me. Okay, these spot thumbnails are just to understand what am I drawing and how am I drawing it? What angles do I want to portray these scenes from, what needs to be portrayed in each spot. So let me talk you through what I'm trying to achieve with this triple spot, and then hopefully you'll see my decision-making process and why I did what I did. So what I'm trying to achieve here is an interaction between my main character and her mom. So my main character's name is Rosetta, and she is coming into the scene, and her mom is telling her, "Tesoro, Rosetta, come here please." "Yes, Mama." "Darling, take this bucket of ash to the well and get rid of it." So in my first spot, I want to convey that dialogue, that interaction visually. Next, I want her to be giving the bucket of ash to Rosetta and saying, "Throw it down." So get rid of it, throw it down the well. And the reason for Rosetta's "oh my gosh, why" face is, she's scared, and she responds, "Throw it down the well?" Yes, yes. "Oh, Mama, do I have to? What if she should be there? Or what if she should get angry?" Now, this is a little bit of foreshadowing in the text and also visually. I don't want at this point for the she to be clear, right? I want you to wonder, who is she? I don't want to give away what is to come in the story. I just want you to know that Rosetta is afraid to do this errand, and you, the audience, are sort of wondering why, right? So Mama gives the bucket, Rosetta scared, so I illustrate her there at the door, seeing her off, and she is sort of, taking the bucket of ash and is on her way, but has a face of trepidation, right? And then finally, Mama says, "And Rosetta, don't misplace my bucket." Okay, so this is the dialogue, this is the concept of this triple spot, of this sort of scene and interaction. And I do think a triple spot is a good way to show this and to visually illustrate this type of dialogue, because I can convey emotion in the faces, I can convey, feeling through poses. So you can see in Rosetta's body language and facial expressions that she is concerned about something, and hopefully that causes some sort of intrigue for the viewer. So with that, that is the idea phase of this triple spot, and now let's move on to final sketches. Okay, so final sketches are a little bit more self-explanatory. Basically, we're taking everything from the idea phase and we are just making our finalized lines. As you can see in the top left, I did change some situational awareness. In my idea thumbnail, I had Rosetta coming in the room from the right side, and my group sort of gave me feedback that maybe it would be nicer to have her coming in from the left, because it causes the eye naturally then to go towards the next spot and also to the page turn. So in the picture book world, you always want to be thinking about that page turn and how you're sort of moving people across from left to right and getting them to continually turn the page. So we moved Rosetta to the left. I moved Rosetta to the left, but my critique group helped me to see that, it would be better to have her on the left side. They also helped me to change some of these final lines. So I say final lines, but they gave me some feedback on the pose of the mom in the first spot. I tried to draw her kneeling on the floor, which wasn't really reading well. And so these are the things that you're thinking through. I wanted to talk through this to kind of, to get people to understand that like things change so much in just a single illustration, and this is kind of the process by which they change. Yeah, this is the final line work, basically just taking those concepts from the idea phase and sketching it and making it, you know, more final. I know that sounds kind of vague, but I hope you can see it here. Just going in and making those things concrete so that I can move on to the next phase, which is value and color studies. So in the value study, at this point I had already scanned my lines that you saw in Photoshop. I'll make 4 identical copies of the final lines on an 8.5 by 11 page, print that out, and then go ahead with my markers and colored pencils and just test out the values and then the colors. So yeah, in the value study, I think that you can see pretty clearly where I want my darks and lights. I think it was successful. I have skipped this phase a lot and in my past illustration work, and lately I've been really forcing myself to do it more, and it gives you a lot of clarity. I mean, I think that there's a reason and a case for doing this regularly, because it just gives you a starting off point and it guides you, and it also makes the illustrations themselves a lot clearer to see and to visually read when you have a clear separation of dark and light space. And so defining that before you jump into your final painting, I think is really useful. Next, the colors. I have to tell you, I have done a number of color studies, and there are times where they help and I stick to them in the final, and it is something that I follow pretty strictly. And then there are other times where I'll do it and I think it helps me, but I don't always end up necessarily following it like to a T. So in this example, you will see that I didn't exactly pick color 1, 2, or 3 for the final, but it's a bit of a mix of 2 and 3. Ultimately, I'm asking myself, what's the feeling I want to convey? And that feeling is one of warmth, because the relationship that Rosetta and her mom have is very loving and accepting and warm. And I think that comes across in this use of color, the vibrancy, the life that it brings to the overall piece. I hope you enjoy seeing the final scans of the triple spot illustration, and here it is in real life. I do feel like sometimes the scans end up a little bit different than how it actually looks on the piece of paper, which is enormously frustrating, but I suppose a topic to talk about for next time, although that seems rather boring. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed watching start to finish triple spot illustration. I hope that you've learned something about a triple spot, as I know that I have in this process. And until next time, thank you very much.